I don't usually make follow-up videos so quickly, as a lot of people who watch my channel are very aware, but so much has happened since I made the dad video, and honestly, it's also fascinating and entertaining to see unfold. I just couldn't hold back from digging deeper. So, for those who didn't see my previous video on dad, here's a little overall of what happened. The channel features some kind of stereotypical family living in a colourful room constantly referred to as the server. It has a mum, a dad, and a daughter. They all perform typical family things, but they act as if there's some form of artificial intelligence trying to learn human life and impersonate it. That's why they don't have real names. They constantly refer to each other as dad, mum, wife, daughter, etc. The videos on the surface seem to be eerily similar to the YouTuber known as That Poppy, and most people just stumbling upon the dad channel probably just thought that's all it is. The YouTuber Fantastic Daily certainly thought that's all it was before he dug deeper into it too. Even my original video didn't even scratch the surface of what was going on here. There is so much more to this channel. Space conspiracies, deep faking, the creator bringing himself into the story. While Poppy's lore was more of a gimmick, Dad very clearly has a story attached to his channel. So, without further ado,
let's just jump into it.
So straight after my video, Dad responded in the comments section along with the YouTube server channel asking me to take the video down. Then the channel followed up with the video Dad feels thankful, thanking me for feeding the server. During the video you can find a code which was deciphered to "someone got in." The someone who got in was most likely a private investigator called Carl Millins. This Carl guy can be found in the Dad Discord server under the username private.
If YouTube is onto me, then old Carl Millen will have to let them know he ain't scared.
The user seems very isolated from other users, so when he comments he doesn't really speak to anyone. He just leaves his thoughts there for people to see and try to piece together. Carl has also clarified that he is one of the people dropping codes in Dad's YouTube videos. There are several codes hidden throughout these videos, and he's taken credit for some of them.
They're seeing my message in the videos. Surprised they actually did. Guess we have some die pies on our hands. But who put that Andam in there?
In a later upload to the Dad channel called Private, we see what appears to be the same man breaking into a building.
Let's see. No tripwires. Alright. Let's see if anybody's home. Whew. Just a reflection, Carl. All that coffee and cinnamon buns got me jumpy. Let's get to the bottom of this dad guy. Nobody for miles around. Might be the last time old Carl sees the light of day for a while.
The title is also called Private, which is his username. He also whispers, "That's just your reflection, Carl," so this instantly connects the two people together. This building is also the same one we saw in the video Act 1. This building is most likely the YouTube server that Dad constantly talks about. We've seen Dad break out from this colourful room in several videos. One notable time he did this was when the YouTuber Nexpo was planning a fan meetup. Dad visited Nexpo and gave him a true value reward.
True Earth, how we feel. Do you not love the Earth?
I love the Earth.
You know what? I've always been an Earth fan, yeah.
You can actually find an extended version of the meetup on the YouTube channel Dead Ghost Pictures.
Vlog Ghost!
One of the things that caught my attention was when everyone asked where Dad had come from, he said Dad just opened the door and kept on going. Could it potentially be the same door Carl was breaking into? This could be the entrance to the server, and it's how Dad is able to escape from time to time before being dragged back inside by the mysterious man in black. Yes, throughout these videos we witness a strange man dressed in black monitoring Dad. During his 5K subscriber special where he danced outside for an hour, we witness the man standing behind him with a YouTube badge on his chest, suggesting he's working for YouTube and only letting Dad outside for certain subscriber milestones. That is, unless Dad breaks out himself from time to time. Hey everyone, and welcome to the original podcast. I'm Jamie from Inside of Mind, and my co-host is Eric Nielsen from the Looney Turtle.
Hello everyone.
Fabulous. And today we have a special guest, Nathan Barnatt, the creator of the Dad channel.
Hello.
After my video went up, I managed to get in contact with the creator, Nathan Barnatt. He said he'd been watching my videos for some time, and after a few emails back and forth, I invited him to be the first guest on my new podcast. Thankfully, he agreed. However, I was under the impression we'd be talking about the Dad channel and what went into making it. But the second the podcast begun, Nathan threw a curveball.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. We're off to a rough start. Sorry. I created the dad character. I didn't start the channel, but I did start the character a couple years ago. I did that, and actually someone else did it. I don't know who did it, but
Wait, so you didn't start the Dad channel?
no.
He claims that the Dad channel has nothing to do with him. He created the Dad character a few years ago, but apparently his resurgence has nothing to do with him. What he claims appears to be backed up by the videos you find on Nathan Barnatt's channel. Scrolling through, you'll find a video called My Lawyer Told Me to Say This, where he updates his fans on the current investigation going on about the Dad channel. They're trying to find out where it came from and who exactly is behind it.
Okay, so now I gotta talk about this thing. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. I don't really even know how to start saying it because it's so insane. I had to send an email out to like every industry person that I've ever worked with at like TV networks, commercial people, like everyone, because someone is impersonating me. Someone took my face and CG'd me or face replicated me or something, and they're making entire videos now with my face. My lawyer told me I need to address this publicly and say anything that comes out from me will be on my Nathan Barnatt channel.
He goes on to explain in my podcast the video titled Ignore This Video with the words Goodbye YouTube written in the title wasn't actually made by him, it just appeared one day. The description explains that Nathan is leaving the videos up to help with the investigation.
I'm not quitting YouTube. My channel's been hacked. My MCM is leaving this here for the investigation.
Nathan has said himself that he's deleted these videos numerous times, but they keep coming back.
And they're also taking like all my friends' identity, and like the people who are in that series. The girl that plays Dad's wife is my friend Erica Rankin. She's in my Talking Classics Keith Apicary series. So it's honestly like the perfect scam. Like it just looks like Nathan's making things because they're using all my people. It's crazy.
It's kind of like that deep faking stuff, you know, where they
that's
CGI stuff.
That's and my lawyer's one who told me that phrase. I was like, what the heck is deep fake?
Deep faking has become an increasing concern over the years. It's basically when someone digitally recreates your face and places it onto someone else. The technology has been around for a while, but just like everything else, it's been rapidly increasing in quality over the past few years. Deep faking can also happen when an AI digitally recreates your voice. A perfect example of this is from the channel Real Talk, where they trained an AI to recreate Joe Rogan's voice and told it to say a bunch of things he's never said before.
I've decided to sponsor a hockey team made up entirely of chimps. I'm tired of people telling me that chimps are not capable of kicking human ass in sports.
But having said this, Joe Rogan does have thousands of hours of content for an AI to take in and learn from, while most people don't. And me and Eric have tested this out before, where we only give a few sentences of our voice to an AI, and the results aren't always that great.
Welcome to the Inside of My Mind. My name is Jamie, the host of Inside a Mind. The Earth is secretly a cube, ruled by evil ducks that just discovered gravity.
Gravity? I mean, it does kind of sound like you if it was over a phone.
I actually think the sound of it does sound like
the inflection of it does sound like the way you would say gravity. But it's just, like, the words around that are way too robotic for me to believe it's you.
However, it does raise a real concern for the future of what we see online if technology is rapidly increasing the way it is. There are already people who believe deepfakes are good enough to be used in the US 2020 election to smear the opposition, which is a possibility. But even with all this technology, I'm pretty certain what we're seeing on the Dad channel isn't a deepfake. If the Dad channel was a deepfake, it's one of the most groundbreaking deepfakes in history. I think there's a lot more to this story.
Welcome to Conspiracy ASMR. Oh, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this Dad character that seems to be taking over YouTube. Somebody sent me somebody sent me a link. I think it was that Inside a Mind video.
A few days later, I get a message on Twitter by someone telling me that a man called Thomas John Flaherty mentioned me in one of his streams. Visiting his channel, I quickly found out it was a longtime friend of Nathan Barnatt. He recently began a YouTube series called Conspiracy ASMR, which is a comedy live stream where he talks about conspiracies while whispering.
I may be your last shot. You want to survive, you know the way.
With tinfoil covering his room, and in later episodes, his face as well.
The audio on this may not be the best because, I lost my microphone.
One of his best lines throughout the entire show is, "We're whispering so the government can't hear us." Tom and his channel appears to be heavily connected to the Dad channel, and we first see signs of this in his live stream called Conspiracy ASMR Bigfoot. While the second half talks about Bigfoot, he actually opens the video talking about Dad and how he recently discovered my video covering it. He had no idea this channel existed until just now. Realizing that the person in the video looks exactly like Nathan, Tom goes on to explain that his good friend Nathan Barnatt has been acting strange and hasn't been himself recently.
I've known Nathan and Seth longer than anybody, and I've noticed that lately, that Nathan's been acting a little weird. He's been acting a little funny. He's been sleeping a lot lately. He's been lethargic. He's been evasive when I've asked him, where he goes at night. He disappears. I don't know where he is and Seth has been asking him too. All of our friends, we've been asking Nathan, like, hey, where do you go, man? Hey, is everything okay? What's up, man? Like, what's been going on with you? Like, what's been happening with you lately? And we just don't know. We're worried about Nathan.
There's two things that stood out to me during this live stream. One, he claimed Nathan has been sneaking out in the middle of the night and not telling his friends or brother where he's going. So this, to me, suggests that Dad might not actually be a deepfake, but instead is actually Nathan himself.
But it's like makes me kind of start going insane. Like, am I thinking, do I have a split personality or something? Am I doing this? I'm like this Fight Club style, and I'm like going out at night making these videos, like, and I don't know it. Like, I have two channels, and I'm a split person now.
The second thing that stood out to me is that Tom mentioned they made a conspiracy video about the moon landing being fake. Obviously another comedic video, but Nathan took it seriously.
If you look at my channel, we just did a new episode of Who Knows the Conspiracy Show, where we talked about the moon landing. Nathan didn't want to talk about the moon landing. I don't know why Nathan didn't want to talk about the moon landing. It's very strange. It's almost like he didn't want us to find out what was going on the moon landing. If you watch that episode, Nathan's up and down, he's left and right, sideways, front ways, back ways, up and down. He's all over. We don't know what's going on with Nathan.
The fact that Nathan is getting angry about a space conspiracy relates heavily to the Dad channel, as there are tons of things relating to space. In the Act 2 video, we see a planet clearly visible in the sky, meaning this footage we're seeing is not from Earth. It was filmed on another planet that is able to see another planet without a telescope. I believe this particular one is called CFB DSIR 21490403, which is the name of the 10th track on Dad's album, and it's a real planet name. It also looks exactly like that particular planet when you search it online. The astronaut that appears to have crash landed onto the ground looks exactly like Dad and Nathan Barnatt. We also see this man's life flash before our eyes before another astronaut appears too, this time a woman. We also witness the appearance of the man in black again, placing them both into the truck filled with cans of food. We then witness the truck driving off with both astronauts, before cutting to one in the truck and the other left behind. While this man does look like Nathan and Dad, we clearly see flashes of his past, hinting this is a different person entirely, who just looks like them. It is suggested that this man is called Captain Andam Rill, which is a name that can be found on the bike in the Dad Feels Golden music video. The woman is potentially a lady called Lieutenant Emily Ridley, as we see binary appear in Dad Feels Good, which decodes to
Lieutenant Emily Ridley, this is Base. Come in.
We also find the hidden message,
Andam, come in. This is Base.
There's also another planet that is mentioned throughout the channel called Kepler 22b. Dad seems to refer to this planet as Base, so this fits with the hidden messages. We also get these lyrics from the Dad song CFB DSIR 21490403.
Whatever happened to Weatherly? How fast were
Whatever happened to Emily? How fast were we traveling? Why did Base do this to me? Who are they calling family? Captain Andam Rill and Lieutenant Emily Ridley went on a space mission to planet CFB. Their base was on planet Kepler 22b, but according to this video and the lyrics on the Dad channel, something went wrong during the mission on CFB, causing them to travel back to base, but crash landed instead. Yes, I believe this desert planet is Kepler 22b, which is why we see base coming to pick them up, and why we see CFB in the distance. But once they get back to base, something is clearly not right.
Hi. Hey everybody. I wanted to talk to you guys. This is like me, like not in character. I wanted to come to all of you since a lot of you know my friend Nathan Barnatt. And I thought that we could talk about that and him on this channel and just kind of like what's been going on.
Tom continues to express concern over the next few videos. It got to a point where he decided to record one of his video chats with Nathan, where we see something strange.
Oh my god. What are you doing? Ever since I took this stupid case off my phone, I can't hang on to it.
A can of food, something that we've seen throughout the Dad channel, just lying there on Nathan's couch. Something seems to be up with this can of food. Finally, in the video titled Little Towels, we get our answer.
What's this? It's weird. Little towels? Smells good. Oh, pancakes. Wait, where am I? Hey, who are you? Stop, wait, stop! Good food. Thanks, Cheryl. So good.
The can of food is our answer. Whatever is in the ingredients is some form of mind control. So to me, this confirms that Dad is Nathan Barnatt. It's not a deepfake. Nathan is being forced to eat this can of food, which is controlling his mind. We also get more evidence that that's the case when we see another live stream on Tom's channel called Table for One Birthday Stream, where he decides to start live streaming after being stood up from a date. Or at least, he thought it was a date.
Looks like my date stood me up. On my birthday.
Throughout the live stream, he reveals that he was sent a few strange gifts, one of them being an envelope containing pieces of paper with the word bills written on each one. He also had a can of food delivered to him, which he decided to give it a try, and lo and behold...
I think we should start off this week by talking about the events of the other day. Of course, I'm sure everybody wants to know.
We then get another conspiracy ASMR live stream from Tom claiming he blanked out yesterday after eating the can of food and had no idea what happened. Following that, we then see on the Dad channel a video featuring Tom as a True Value employee, selling tools to Dad.
Hi Dad, welcome to True Value. Are you looking to get the tools you need for the right price?
I am.
I thought so. Here you go, Dad. How about a brand new mini sledge for free?
Free?
Yep. And a screwdriver gun, some nice paint, regular hammer, tape measure, a way out.
What?
Honey, go back to sleep.
What a nice dream.
We're now seeing Tom occur more and more throughout the channel, slowly falling into the same fate Nathan did when he became Dad. So that connects Dad and Nathan pretty easily, but I'm sure you're asking about the third character in the story, Captain Andam Rill. He looks exactly like Nathan and Dad, and in one of Dad's songs, it's clearly him singing, because he's asking what happened on his mission with Lieutenant Emily. So how exactly does he connect? Well, there's not much evidence as of right now, but I do have a small idea, and it was given to me, once again, by Tom's Conspiracy ASMR live streams, or more specifically, the live stream that has 2 parts, and the only conspiracy ASMR that isn't actually a conspiracy theory: past lives. Not only that, this particular episode was recommended by Nathan Barnatt himself.
On the last episode of Conspiracy ASMR, Nathan was in the chat. Nathan pops in and out sometimes, and Nathan asked that I research the subject. He was very insistent on it. I don't know why he was so insistent on it. So Nathan is really interested in the phenomenon of past lives and reincarnation.
Apparently, for whatever reason, Nathan is incredibly interested in this topic. Maybe Andam Rill is a past life of Nathan. It would explain why Nathan is getting these strange feelings about past lives and wants Tom to talk about it. It would explain why they all look so similar. It would explain why Nathan doesn't like conspiracies that involve space travel being fake, because his past life was an astronaut. I've been debating the longest time on whether or not Dad is an alien from out of space due to these song lyrics.
Left my planet now, looking for some fun, moving like a human sweat seeping out of his neck.
But now it's starting to make me think, what if it isn't Dad that's the alien? It's the people controlling him that's the alien. The mysterious man in black seemed to be working for YouTube. If you look at his badge, it looks quite phony and fake, but I thought that was more for comedic purposes. But what if it's actually intentional? What if this isn't actually supposed to be YouTube? What if it's something pretending to be YouTube? There's a fictional channel that I talked about that was a part of the Dad story called the YouTube server. If you look on the Dad channel and his subscriptions, he subscribed to this channel. But obviously to us it's fake, but I thought it was supposed to be real in the Dad universe. But even when I pointed this out to Nathan Barnatt in the podcast, he said it himself, this looks so fake.
YouTube themselves commented on your video saying...
I think so. It just seemed like that. I ended up pinning it to the top because I just thought it was part of the story. You know,
this looks like a fake channel. YouTube server. They have like a crappy YouTube banner on there. It's like, oh, here's a YouTube banner. This is not real.
And to add to that, Nathan goes on in the podcast to talk about how Maker Studios, one of the MCNs that YouTubers sign up to, was hacked into a few months ago.
Maker's merchandise would always pop up and it says, open your Maker whatever account. And it hadn't done that since like 2011. And it just started doing it last year. I was like, what the heck is this Maker thing? Am I still tied to Maker? So I was talking to my guy at Ben Pixels. I was like, well, this Maker thing keeps popping up, and that's what led them to believe that there was a flaw in Maker's system, and maybe someone got into Maker and they had access to other, not just my account, but everyone who was partnered with Maker, like Good Neighbor, Ed Bassmaster, Shay Carl, and like all these other people. And PewDiePie, he was with them. So it's like, I don't know. I'm definitely have like sort of a conspiracy theorist mind.
So someone hacked into Maker Studios and stole a bunch of YouTubers' identities and is now impersonating as YouTube. So here's what I personally think happened overall. 38 years ago, since that's how old Nathan Barnatt is, there was a group of humans who set out on a space mission. Their base was located on planet Kepler 22b. According to a transcript written by one of the fans in the Dad Discord after interviewing Dad himself, there appears to be some kind of connection to the video game Portal. So maybe that's how these humans ended up on Kepler 22b all those years ago. They were experimenting with portals, and they managed to transport themselves from Earth to Kepler 22b. While setting up base, they sent 2 astronauts to the planet CFB, Captain Andam and Lieutenant Emily. While on this mission, some kind of alien species broke into base and took over without Emily and Andam knowing. After they took over, they began reaching out to Emily and Andam, telling them to come back from their mission. something happened on the way back, causing them to crash. It seems from certain shots that Emily may have survived, as in this one we see 2 astronauts and one is stood up while the other is unconscious, and we know the one that's unconscious is Andam because we see it earlier. The man in black travels out and takes Emily away, but leaves Andam behind in the desert to die. After he does, he's reincarnated as Nathan Barnatt, back on Earth, and every so often he gets flashbacks of his past life. These aliens, who are now disguised as Base, figure a way to use the portals to travel back to Earth. Once they do, they begin studying human life and attempt to fit in. They begin impersonating YouTube. They hack into Maker Studios, stealing a bunch of personal data to learn from. One of them being Nathan Barnatt. Nathan doesn't know why these creatures chose him out of all people, but maybe that's the reason. They recognize him. What these aliens want on Earth and why they're pretending to be YouTube, we don't know as of yet. So far it seems their goal is to make this dad channel become the most subscribed YouTube channel in the world, but for all we know that might be a distraction for something else. There's a lot of unanswered questions still remaining, like what happened to Emily Ridley. We also don't know who Laszlo is, to be exact, which is a video that appeared on the dad channel. Her eyes are actually the same color as the orbs that appear in the dad videos, so she's probably one of the aliens that is running this supposed server. These aliens are using the cans of food to control Nathan and a bunch of other people, and since Nathan mentioned that these creatures broke into Maker Studios and stole a bunch of personal data, maybe there's more YouTubers that they'll be trying to control, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It's just a theory though, so the outcome could be completely different. There's still not enough evidence to back half of this stuff up, so please feel free to go and investigate it yourself and see if you can find your own theories, or if you find something that strengthens this theory. Thank you all for watching. I'm currently crowdfunding a book that dives deep into strange online stories like this, but it's set up in the style of case files written by a madman. If you'd like to help support and make this book possible, please visit unbound.com/books/insidermind and pre-order now. I'll see you guys in the next video.